Hello everyone, this is Leo here, and I want to talk about a topic that I've been hearing a lot of people talking about. It's an important topic, actually. It's an important conversation to have that I haven't been having much because I gave up on everything a long time ago. Not a long time ago, a couple of years ago. Um, After I nuked my old channel. Talking about that old channel, the topic. The topic is retro games versus actually old games versus modern games. Old gaming, I think the actual term would be old gaming platforms versus new gaming platforms, right? People are talking about these things and maybe it's hard to differentiate. But with all the conversations about the Neo Geo AES Plus, people have been talking a lot about these things, like how it was cool back in the day and how it's nowadays these platforms have these frustrating problems, right? And they always they a lot of the time are making this discussion as old versus new. And I have this kind of discussion about the platforms, all the problems that these platforms have and all these things. But I really don't think about that in a old versus new. And so I was talking about my old channel. I had this video where I was talking about, and that was kind of like a conversation with a different discussion that was happening a lot back in the day, 8 years ago or something, about PCs versus consoles. And I was saying like how I loved consoles. That video was like I really like consoles over PCs, and so again, a video made 8 years ago, right? And so I show people why I prefer consoles, and how I do it is I take a Mega Drive and I just show how the Mega Drive works, right? And so you get your cartridge, you put it in the console, you turn it on, and you play your game, and that's all there is to it. And that's awesome. That's why I like consoles over PCs, because it's more durable, you have better ownership of your games, and it has this simple, direct way of doing everything, right? And um, that is still true, right? Like I think even today, these old consoles are more directly accessible, and they're more instantaneous, and you still have better ownership in some cases over others. But this is not that simple, right? And that's what I'm talking about. Like, sure, okay, for old stuff, there are a few games that are older where you might have problems with Nintendo Disk System games that nobody buys, and things like that. If you have some old floppy disks lying around, they're probably all rotten and the game is gone from them. CD games might have problems. PlayStation 1, Saturn games, maybe some of them are having problems now. So it's not a clear-cut thing. But generally speaking, I mean, my experience with old cartridges for the Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, is that they work very well. Just like that, you know. But I don't generally have problems with my PlayStation 4 games not working or disappearing from my PlayStation 4 console. I have a I've had a Steam account for over 10 years. I have almost 900 games in there. Um, and I don't remember any games disappearing magically from my store. Maybe some did, and I didn't even realize that ones that I actually care about never did. Some of them are not for sale anymore. You go to the store and they're not for sale, but I can still download them from Steam. So where did all these problems come from? Well, for example, Nintendo, after a little while, when they stop selling a console, they will stop some kinds of support, and eventually the stores get taken down completely, and you lose access to the game. So if you bought a bunch of games for your Nintendo Wii, for example, I'm pretty sure the Wii is the case, maybe even the Wii U already. And so your console breaks, you repair it loses the whatever login data that was in there, or the game, sorry. You lose the games that deleted, but you have to download the games again. You go online, there's no store anymore. And so now you bought those games back in the day, and now you don't have them anymore. And they don't even really exist anymore unless you pirate them off the internet, where they are all preserved online somewhere. Someone, went through the trouble and got them all, and maybe not all of them, maybe not all of the online games for the Nintendo Wii are backed up somewhere, but a lot of them are. So it is what it is. By the time, a lot of people say that, like, well, I buy these games on Steam, I don't care what happens, because if they take the game down, I'm just gonna pirate the game online. I heard that argument. I'm not saying I do that or don't do that, but I did hear a lot of people say that argument. And yeah, I mean, generally speaking, by the time this stuff goes down, you might be able to just recuperate it some other way. But the PlayStation, for example, as far as I understand, and I'm just kind of talking out of my ass here, the PlayStation 3 is still online and everything works still. If you won't need to download games and even buy games. I think the PlayStation Vita is also still online. Maybe it's coming out, it's getting offline soon. But that's the thing. I avoid, like me personally, I really avoid online for consoles that I'm not very confident in the online services. So for example, the Nintendo DS was the 3DS. The DS, I barely got, no, I don't think I got anything online at all for the Nintendo DS ever. Nothing. Just have the cards. And then the Nintendo 3DS, I bought some cheap online games. And then after a while, I realized, like, it's not like buying an Xbox game. If I buy an Xbox 360 game, like, I can play it on different consoles. I have this account and it's super simple to manage that. And the 3DS was not like that at all. You had one single system and you could have your games, and you'd have to make, if you buy a new one, you have to do a transfer. And it's like a really crappy, really bad way of, so I said, like, no, okay, enough. No Nintendo 3DS digital stuff, no online. I'll just buy the cards, because this is not good service from Nintendo. They don't offer me what they should as far as this stuff goes. And so I stopped supporting digital for that. And then I didn't buy a Nintendo Switch till last Black Friday, where I got one, an OLED one for cheap. And my decision for the Switch is just no digital, no internet connection, nothing. I just buy cards of stuff that I want, and I only have a very few. It's there. I only have this, and I have nothing else. But I'm gonna buy more, I'm sure. But I bought like this game and never played it. This one I bought, I have it on the Wii U, but I bought this because I don't like having to set up the Wii U, having to, like, it's so convoluted. And this plays beautiful on the Switch. I played this game for a while, got distracted and stopped after a little while. And this came with the bundle that I bought the Switch with, because it was like 200 and I don't remember what it was, man. It's like $300, but with the $300 I bought these 2 games and got a free controller with the bundle or something like that. I don't remember exactly now. I think it's on an old video of mine. And so I'm fine with this. Like, these games, no crappy, crazy online shit, something off the disc or download fucking whatever. Well, Minecraft is kind of I wouldn't have bought this. I have Minecraft already on the PlayStation 4, and I haven't been playing it lately, so I don't really care. And I would buy the whatever PC thing if I actually wanted to play Minecraft. I've played a lot of Minecraft. I think this is an amazing game. This is really good. I don't think this is some crappy kiddie game for just the I don't. I think it's an awesome game. I'm just not interested in right now, but it's cool that I have it. Um, and again, as far as I'm going with that, and does it suck a little bit that you have to go out of your way to see whether a game comes in the, yeah, it's kind of bullshit, right? Why do I have to go out of my way to Google a fucking game to see whether the game is in the disc or not? Because that happens on the PlayStation 4. I have a lot of games on the PlayStation 4 physically, the disc, and I actually have to go there and see on the, either on Amazon page, you can usually see that, or just Google the freaking game and ask like, oh, this is like a complete version of game X. For example, I have Monster Hunter World Iceborne Edition. I looked online. Is the game actually in the disc, or is it just a normal Monster Hunter? And if I want to play Iceborne, I have to download it off the internet. And then if I want to trade in the disc, it's not going to be Iceborne because the DLC is going to be in my account and not in the disc anymore. Or if I lend it to someone, then they're not going to get the expansion. They're just going to get the base. But no, that game is full in the disc. You know, Capcom did a great job. It's an amazing game. It's an incredible game. It's only not more amazing in the sense that I prefer Rise, but you know, many people prefer World, and it's top tier. Like it's top tier. It's incredible. I dare you to search for a game that's older. You know, that's a Dreamcast game or back from that, and has the amount of content that it has, that has the fucking incredible designs that that game has, that it has all the features. You can play the game completely offline and forget all the online connectivity, whatever bullshit thing, and it's gonna be beautiful. But at the same time, it used to have all these kinds of cool events and things for people to do, and online cooperation between people. Like, it's incredible, right? And so I don't have a negative feeling at all towards modern, but I do have these negative feelings toward certain modern practices from some companies, or from, it's like one of the things, it's been a while since I just bought Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for $5 on Steam. Go and buy it. Awesome game. I'm not too much into the Marvel series. It's too complicated for me. Any fighting game is actually too complicated for me. I love fighting games, but I suck at all of them. I'm awful at fighting games. But you know, I like them, and for $5, like, it's totally worth Marvel 3 Ultimate. That is a fighting game that still has that way of doing things, where it had an original version, and then it had an ultimate version that has everything in there, right? I haven't bought, like, I did buy Street Fighter V because people told me it was good, and I was sorely disappointed at it. You know, the fucking bullshit, that game, in my opinion. And then later, apparently, they fixed it. They fixed the fucking lag in the game that was awful, and, you know, improved everything about the game after years and whatever. But, like, you buy the game, the special edition, and the fucking thing, and whatever other edition, and then you still have to buy this on top and that on top of that too. It's crazy. Another game that I just bought was Dead or Alive. I think it's 5 or something, because it was on sale, and it was like the fucking complete edition. And the complete edition has like this immense list of fucking DLCs that you get with the game. That is kind of crazy. If you just bought the game before, like 5 years ago, you just bought the game, you'd have a fraction of the game. And yeah, I really dislike it, and I don't buy it. I don't buy games like this new Wolf City whatever thing from SNK. I didn't buy that. I mean, I could if I really liked it and I was playing online. If I didn't suck and I could play online, maybe I would buy some of these. But I don't feel like, oh, I was looking at people have good reviews of Samurai Showdown. That's really expensive. You can buy the base game for some 40 bucks. But there is this huge list of characters that you don't get with the game, and there is no easy. I mean, there is a complete at that by the time you buy the complete version of Samurai Showdown 6, or no, it's actually just Samurai Showdown. They just made they ditched the number. Um, by the time you get all the fucking characters, like it's $70 the game, and it's like, well, I mean, it's not worth $70 for me. I bought. I mean, I don't know. I can buy a lot of games for a lot less than that. That I think I'm gonna get more hours of fun out of them. And so yeah, I don't like that. So what do? I buy stuff on Steam, like the game that I uploaded yesterday, the Capcom Arcade, whatever bullshit. It's the same fucking thing. It's like there's a bunch of games, and every game costs. I think it's €2 each one of them. At least they're cheap. But there's all this fucking bullshit in there. You have to go to the Steam page and buy the DLC and then go into the game and it activates, and it's all this like, why can't you just fucking, you can't even buy the game inside of the fucking program. I would much prefer it if it was just a like flat collection like they do other collections, but whatever. $15, I'm in. 15 bucks. It's awesome, right? Because for that price, I was making the review yesterday. When I turned off the camera and looked at the time, it's like, wow, a 1 hour video. I didn't intend on that, but I was having fun playing the fucking games. It's just great, amazing. And they are playable, and if you want to play them on Mister instead or on MAME, do it. I don't care. I'm not saying you have to buy this, but if you don't like using MAME and you don't like, I don't know, I don't know, I'm just saying it works. I figured out a little bit the scaling there, but it's never perfect for 1440p. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So I buy that in that situation. It's €15 for I don't even know how many games, a bunch of games, and a lot of really good ones in there. But otherwise, I prefer every single game that is available on GOG. I buy on GOG instead of on Steam, because on GOG I can download the installer, and I am more sure that nothing's gonna happen. But again, I do not have the experience on Steam that anything gets taken out of the store. Maybe something does. Maybe sometimes there are licensing issues and stuff. But the problem is the following. Let me tell you this. You have an issue with the Nintendo DS and with the Nintendo 3DS and Nintendo Switch and whatever. Because since you don't have full backwards compatibility, and since the entire platform moves on to something new, like you have the Xbox and then you have the Xbox 360, and those are completely different systems. And so how are they going to leave the servers for the Xbox on forever for you to download the games forever when it's a dead platform? Most people moved on, so of course it's going to die and they're gonna take it out. But on Steam, Steam is Steam. Maybe something's gonna happen and Steam's gonna go away or something. I don't know. But the truth is, it's still Steam, and it goes on. Some games stop working properly because there are features in the graphics cards of those times that are not available anymore the same way they were. And so there have been regressions in performance or compatibility problems, and then the games need a patch or something, and some of the games do get patches. I have, like, my experience is not that bad, man. Very often you buy a game on Steam, even an indie game or something like that, and then after a while the game is still relevant, the game is still selling. They don't do the crappy move that From Software did with Dark Souls. What they should have done with Dark Souls is said, you bought Prepare to Die edition. We're sorry that it was garbage. We didn't do a proper job porting it. Here is a patch that you can just update your game, and now it's gonna run as it should have ran from the beginning, because this was just poorly optimized. There was no real PC port. They just recompiled the game, but it was running at 30 frames. Whatever computer, there was no option to changing the frame rate. It was locked at 30, not even 60, 30 frames per second. And the internal rendering resolution was maximum 1080p. So you were playing the game at 1080p 60, and you had no options to change anything, right? So, but they didn't do that. They re-released the game as the remastered fucking version, and the remastered, what they're gonna do? Well, they just ported the game properly, fixed the awful performance, updated some textures, right? And let the game run at 60 fucking frames per second. Not unlocked, uncapped, but you get 60 now. Amazing. And they charge you. And I paid, because played that game and still played it this year. I played that game so much that it's like, whatever, fucking buyer. When it was on sale for half the price or something, buy a fucking update for the game. A lot of games don't do that. They really do. Like, I have Oniken, for example, on Steam, got updates that improved the game. And other games that I have, and mostly it's indie games that do that. Because again, they're still relevant, they still sell, even if it's not a lot. But if it's a 10-year-old game and people buy it now, they will feel like, wow, this game is, like the menus, the options for resolutions. Because 10 years ago, if you had 1080p 60 in your game, that's awesome. I mean, a few people were running necessarily much bigger resolutions and things like that. And if they were, they would still forgive you for not having those options in an indie game. But nowadays, like, oh, this fucking thing is 1080p only. What are we doing here, right? And so they update the game, and they go in and even fix some bugs or change stuff around and improve the game a long time after the release date. And you bought the game for a couple bucks years ago, and now the game is even better than it was. I have that experience with a lot of games. Who talks about that? I don't know. Maybe people don't talk about positive experiences. We just complain and don't talk about the good stuff. Or maybe, I don't know. But still, and this is important to take notice of, I still use Steam, and I have 800 something games on Steam, almost 900. But I still see it as a rental platform, and I only buy games. I've been buying a lot of games on Steam these past couple weeks because I'm going to Humble Bundle, and it's like, oh, here, 10 indie games for 10 bucks. Oh, here, you got these 6, 7, 8 games for 15 bucks, and there's a bunch of good games in there that if I play them, each of them for 1 hour just to check it out, they're gonna pay themselves for the prices that they are. And so I'm totally fine with doing that. And my entire library was created like that, in that kind of situation, like buying games for either a couple euros or €5. If it's a game that I really want and it's a really good game that I can get many hours out of, I'll pay maybe 10, even. Like, it's very rare, very, very rare that I pay $20 for 20 euros in this case, for a game. Very rare. I think maybe I bought Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak for that amount, and maybe 20, maybe 30. But those are games that I'm confident, like at least 20, 30 hours are gonna go into them, if not 50 to 100. And so at that point, I'm fine. Like, I pay the price, and I'm gonna get my money's worth. Even if I lose the game, it is gonna be a pity. It's gonna be a tragedy if Monster Hunter Sunrise gets taken down, because it's an amazing game and I have no control over that. But that's what I was talking about. Like, if in 10 years from now they really do take it down, do you really think that Monster Hunter Rise is going to become completely unavailable and completely impossible to get anywhere? I don't think so. I don't think there is a big chance that I'm going to be completely locked away. Still, of course, it is a more friendly practice to do it properly. Why do the companies not do it properly, right? Just do it right and sell me the complete game and let me do whatever I want with it. Be more honest as a company. But this is what I was talking about. This is the kind of stuff that I'm always thinking about, never stop. And also the games. Because I hear a lot of people say, modern games are easy, or they are this and that. And it's like, I don't know. I don't see that separation, because I mean, when I came back to the 360, started playing games, I was horrified by how absolute trash, in my opinion. I understand that people like these games, but in my opinion, it's absolute trash. I was shocked when I played Tomb Raider, the new one, the first one that they revived, Tomb Raider. And that game is so fucking garbage. I made an entire video just trashing the game completely, just showing, that she walks on a log and she's like balancing like this as if she's gonna fall. But you can do anything. You can press to the right, to the left, you can press the jump button, you can press back, you can do anything, you can press any buttons that you want. During that setup, that scene, it is impossible to make her fall from the fucking log. And so I'm playing a game where this woman is balancing on a log, and all I have to do is press forward and she's gonna cross it, but she's giving me the impression like I'm not fucking stupid. What are you doing? How is this even a game? I don't like pretending that I'm pressing buttons while I'm watching a movie. It's absolute fucking trash. I quit that game like half an hour in, and I never touched anything in that kind of line of games again. I watched The Last of Us on YouTube. Because if you have those fucking platforming where there are painted walls and whatever things that you automatically and you're just pressing directions, and you have 5 minutes long of you just pressing directions and going here and going there, but it's not fucking platforming. It's trash, it's garbage, it's awful, right? I just don't play it. Fuck that. Like, I don't waste my fucking time with this kind of garbage, right? And sure, I mean, Monster Hunter has that kind of stuff where you're crying, but it is different. They're not trying to pretend that is a relevant part of. There is no drama to it. It's just you have to move inside of the map, and so you'll do that. There are stairs in Dark Souls. You have to climb or go down the stairs, but it's not extra there. Just just for, it's just that the levels are actually, they have this verticality and you can fall and there is this and that, and there there's no choice, like they have to do it, right? Or sometimes they'll put an elevator there. Those elevators are pretty quick, you know, unrealistically so, probably for when they're made. It doesn't even make sense that there should be any elevators, but they do it, right? And so again, another example. So okay, maybe you guys are, you know, talking about how these games are easy, but is Dark Souls too easy for you? I don't think it's especially hard. Dark Souls 3's harder, but I'm playing it for the second time only. I'm not super trained, and I'm not dying all the time. I died last time I quit the game was right after dying to this huge monster in the swamp, and that was kind of crappy because in the swamp you can't fast roll. Even if you're fast roll, if your character is fast rolling, you still can't fast roll. And so I was kind of confused there what I'm supposed to do if I can't defend myself. I'm not mobile. The monster saw me, and I died. But I'm not dying every 5 minutes. I die a couple times, maybe every playing session. It's not frustrating at all up to this point. It's the right difficulty. Sure, some bosses like Ornstein and Smough on Dark Souls, that stuff. If you're not high level and take a look at some strategies and do some cheesy stuff, that can be pretty hard. I remember trying to fight Ornstein and Smough at low levels, low armor, legit fighting them solo. Yeah, it took many tries and it was pretty fucking hard. But that's if you're handicapping yourself. If you're not, and many other, like Monster Hunter is not easy. Sure, I mean the beginning it's pretty easy, the freaking, you know, normal missions, but once you get into the high rank stuff, and it starts getting, if you want to go to the challenging stuff at the end game, it's pretty freaking hard. So I'm not saying people are wrong for saying anything. I'm just sharing my opinion, right? Like my view of these things. And I never thought of this as, oh, old games used to be challenging and new games are not anymore. It's like, well, if your game is not challenging at all, unless there is something special about it, like there are maybe some games that are not like Fallout 4. I like Fallout 4. It's like I play it like people play, and it's probably even easier than those. You know, whatever. What are these games where you have a little farm and, you know, you have your friends and you do all these things and you improve your buildings, or you make more friends and you improve whatever things, and, you know, get to learn more skills to improve your crops, you know, these ultra casual games. And Fallout 4 is like that. It's an ultra casual game. It's really easy for what it should be. Like the even the combat system in the beginning is not that easy. It's easy, but it's not that easy. But once you level up the correct perks and things, and you know, and get a build going, like you're invincible, you're incredibly powerful. And the only part where I had some problem was this place where you have to fight a bunch of people and you're stuck in a room. But you get into some power armor, get your minigun and mow them down, and then, you know, keep playing the game after that. It's easy. It's fucking easy, and I like it. I like it because it, you know, has that power fantasy thing, and you can do the settlings and do all that kind of stuff, and, you know, sit down and relax and play something that's brain dead. That game is fucking brain dead. Uh, but I'm not gonna keep buying new games that are all the same, fucking brain dead, fucking, you know, do everything for you. But at least that game does not have things pointing exactly, you know, on screen. Like you go here and you talk to this guy in this, you know, like you have to go around and investigate and discover the world, and it's not as handholdy as a lot. Yeah, that's another thing. I can't play a game if the game is constantly telling me exactly what to do, exactly where to go, exactly. I can't play the game. Again, but that's not a modern game thing, because I don't care whose name's on the game. I don't care what kind of series it's a part of. I don't give a fuck, right? If it's that kind of game, to me it's not a game, and fuck that. And I just look at the other stuff. And there are so many games that are good. What's the name of that one that I was playing? I'm not sure it's installed. There is a game that's kind of like Fallout. It's a Fallout ripoff, and I think it's the company that made Fallout Vegas, right? But I don't think I have it installed, so it's going to be hard to find in my huge 500 game library. It's 450 game library in here on GOG. But what was it? Whatever, but it was a good game. It was a little bit easy. I mean, it tells you what to do reasonably, but it's not too handhold. It's not too bad at all. Like, it was a good game. Not the sequel. The second one came out just a little while ago, right? And so whatever. I'm gonna stop thinking about this game and just keep looking. Let me see. If it's here, it's here. If it's not, then yeah, I forgot the name of the freaking game. Doesn't matter, right? Another game that I'm not sure. Is it a modern game or is it an old game? Right? Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. Dragon's Dogma 2 just came out. I never bought it because I think there's Denuvo in there. Fuck that. I don't. If I see that the game has Denuvo, I just don't buy it, because it's mostly single player games. It's like, why do you have anti-cheat in a single player game? If I want to cheat, let me cheat. It's a single fucking player game. And if you it's to protect from fucking piracy. Well, but then the pirate is gonna take Denuvo out of the game and pirate the game and have the game running without Denuvo. And I am paying for the game. I'm gonna have this fucking thing bogging down my performance in the game. But I paid. So no, I'm just not buying your game. You put Denuvo in the game, I just quit. I'm not gonna fucking buy. So you see how my attitude is towards these games. But again, the games are fucking good. Nex Machina is a masterpiece. And it's an old school game, but it's modern. It's hard to find anything as good as Nex Machina on anything and at any level, at anything. Rayman Origins really good. Shovel Knight's really good. These are modern games, right? Atomic Crops. I was just saying, right? I was just saying I have a 450 game library on GOG. What are these games? Battle Axe, Blazing Chrome, Bombshell. I didn't like Bombshell. It's a twin stick shooter, but it's not very well made. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, Fight and Rage, Final Vendetta. I just bought it just the other day. Grim Dawn, Hollow Knight. So some of them are more modern game designs, but a lot of these are either old games. King of Fighters, Kingdom Rush. I bought it for a couple bucks. I didn't play it yet. Lords of Exile, it's a good one. I should talk about a lot of these on the channel. Again, a lot of modern, old school games. Bloodstained is really good. Cave Story Plus, but it's a free game. Just download the PC version, and shooters. And I mean, there are many modern games on, like, modern style games. Even Skyrim, I have here Skyrim because I bought it quite cheap, but I didn't really get into Skyrim. I don't know, man, it's not that good. One day I'll probably play it, but most of them are old school design, right? Even if they are modern, and some of them are old. Steam, same thing. Like, the library is full of modern, like, made recently, but scrolling shooters, still as good as ever, But other games, like Once Upon a Katamari, it's a Katamari game. So PlayStation 2's, keeps the has DLC, has a bunch of bullshit. If you ignore completely the bullshit, it's still a great Katamari game. It has a lot of content and it was not too expensive. I bought it with a little bit of a discount. Less than 30 euros, I think. Remnant 2 was cheap when I bought it. It's just like Dark Souls, but it's a shooter. It's not just like Dark Souls, but I mean the way it works content-wise doesn't push a bunch of bullshit onto you. If you want to do the online, you can do the online. If you don't want to do the online, you don't do the online. It's not trying to sell you extras or anything, right? And well, so Celeste, Dark Souls 3 is one game that I'm playing right now, and Earth Defense Force 5 is a cool one. Eartheon, of course. X Zodiac, EX Zodiac. I think it's still freaking early access, this game, and it's cool. It's cool. It's like kind of like Star Fox, a modern take on Star Fox. Gemcraft, Frostborn Wrath, really cool tower defense game. Mushihime-sama, it's a re-release, but cool stuff. So whatever. I don't know, man. That's how I think about it, right? It's not as much modern versus old or this and that. It's just that some companies offer you great products at great prices and other companies don't. Today is a really bad time to buy hardware because what? You're gonna buy a gaming PC right now? You're spending a lot of money right now because the RAM, but the consoles are also rising in price. So it's kind of, in that sense, it's kind of good for Neo Geo that they're coming out, SNK and PlayOn, they're coming out with this console right now because everything else is kind of expensive. It's not like you're looking at it and you say, well, for $250 I can buy a Nintendo Switch 2 or something and just play my games. Not really. But the problem with the AES, again, I said this multiple times, the AES, the problem is the games. The console is fine, but in my opinion, like, in talking about these practical terms and not about the aesthetics of it and the importance that people have on the aesthetics of having the big cartridges the way they are, in practical terms, the price of the games for 90 is too much, right? But the console is not too much because, again, it's a console that comes with an arcade stick and it's a console. It's simple or not simple, it's a console. And so $250, 200 euros, the price is good on the console. And so that's good in the sense that, hardware is expensive right now. Everything is expensive right now. Like Chinese handhelds are rising their prices. For like the Steam Deck just got bumped up to $700 something for the base model, the cheapest one they have, $700 for a Game Boy, but a modern one, right? Probably still worth it, because if you buy a Steam Deck OLED, cheapest model, right? And then go on Steam and buy the freaking arcade collection, Capcom Arcade. I forgot the fucking name of the collection. My memory's fucked up, man. I don't even smoke pot. And I'm like this, and I'm not even 50. Capcom... Is the fucking thing? Arcade Stadium. Capcom Arcade Stadium. $15. So $700 for the console. $750. Whatever it is, right? And then $15 for the Capcom collection, and you already have more games than the AES Plus is gonna have on release, and probably maybe even in its entire life. And the quality of the games, in my opinion, is completely comparable. You're talking about really good games like, Neo Geo has Strikers 1945 Plus, right? And Capcom has made what's the name of the game? Mars Matrix or whatever, or 19 19XX to keep it. But 1945 plus is not released. It's not in one of the 10 games. You're getting what is Polestar. I would rather play Pro Gear than Polestar. Any day of the week, better game, in my opinion. You know, and so even with the high prices, modern platforms are still good if you know what you're doing and you just take care. But I agree with this one thing, like it should not be the case. It should not be the case that I have to research a game to see whether it's bullshit or not, right? Like you look at a game and it's like, oh, this looks cool. I want to buy this game, like this fighting game. Oh, look, Street Fighter 6 came out. Like, let me buy Street Fighter 6. And then buy the game. And it's a bunch of bullshit. And you have only half the characters. And then they're releasing characters and stages and music and this and that. All as DLCs. Like, what the fuck, man? I used to buy a fighting game and I had one fighting game. And then if they have an expansion, they can sell the expansion or the new fighting game. But I'm buying this game and it's in shambles and I have to keep. And then they change the rules of the game in the middle of, because they are patching the game. If you like the game as it is, you might not like the game in 6 months from now because they fucking changed the game. What did I buy? Right? I get it. And it's bullshit that we have to even look for it. It's just a fact, and in my case, I got used to that. In the past 10 years, like I got burnt a couple times, bought like freaking, I told you, right? I bought fucking Tomb Raider. And then I learned, okay, no, people like these games and people give games good reviews and say good stuff about games. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna like them. I have to be like aware of the fact that even games that are highly regarded, I might find them absolute trash and unplayable garbage. And so I have to be careful with what I get and what I don't get. And so I find reviewers that tend to agree with my opinions, and I go online and I go on the Steam store or I go on the Amazon reviews things and I read some different reviews and I see, and I always take care. But are we pretending that never happened before? Like you never bought a Super Nintendo game that you thought, like, this is gonna be awesome, and then you play for 2 hours and you finish the game, and there's nothing more to do. Like it's just a or just the game is shit. Or you buy a PlayStation 1, like Aliens. What Aliens? I don't know which one. If there are many names or many games, like there's an Aliens game for the PlayStation 1. It's fucking awful. It's like lag galore. It's terrible. You can't fucking aim because of the lag. I'm not talking about emulation. Like it's native of the game. It's really laggy and crappy. The graphics are amazing, the sound, the atmosphere. But then it's really hard, not because the design is hard. It's just because of the fucking lag and you can't aim properly. And you're playing with a controller. I think that maybe it doesn't even support dual analog. And so, yeah, I mean, it's easy to get burned. And back in the day, you buy the game and you have the game, it looks cool. You're gonna play the fucking game. Be it good or bad, you're gonna play it because you don't have 1,000 games. You have that game that you bought. And maybe you trade it in or whatever, right? But I don't think that's a good thing that you force yourself to play games that are not what you expected them to be or not as good as you wanted them to be just because you have no alternatives. I would rather have, how many I have right now on Steam? Let's take this out, the filter, because it wasn't filter, just what it was installed. I have 886 games on Steam right now. And I'd rather have 886 games than if I buy a game for $5 and I play it for 15 minutes and say, wow, this is not what I want. Then I just not play the fucking game. It was not awful, but I bought and played that, and it's not even here, it's on GOG, so there it has 450 games, so I'm over 1,000 now of legally owned digital games owned. I only own the 450 GOG games, because those I can download. I can protect them. The Steam games, I own them. But I played Bombshell. It was not awful, but I came to the conclusion, I mean, it's not worth my time. I'd rather play Nex Machina. That's much better. It's a much, much better twin stick shooter, right? But it's good. It's good because I paid very little for the game. I played the game. I know whether I like it or not. If I don't, I don't regret. Sometimes we can't regret something that we had to do it. To know, you have to buy the game and play the game, or have some kind of access to the game and play the game to know whether you like it or not. And until you do that, you don't know. So you're saying like, oh, unless you are very confident, like I am, anything Tomb Raider or anything in that direction, I don't touch any of that. But I mean, some games you have to buy them and test them, and I don't want to pay $90 for a cartridge to test it to see whether I like the game or not, and if I already have the game through whatever means and I play it to see whether I like it or not, then am I really gonna spend like I already have the game on MAME and now I'm gonna pay $90 to have it? I don't know. But that's it, that's it. I do appreciate, I really do appreciate the simplicity and the awesomeness of old school, of just having a console that you plug in the cartridge, you turn it on and you play the game, and you know that you got the game and that you're gonna play the game. The only thing I don't like about that aspect is the price, because again, it's competing against me buying, I don't even know how many arcade games for $15. It's like $15. You can't buy any cartridge for $15. Even Evercade cartridges cost more than $15. They're like $20, $25. So, I mean, and they don't come with what I just freaking bought, and so that's the only reason why. Because I mean, sure, if it, I even had the Evercade. I would almost buy it again. I think Evercade is pretty cool. They're always, it's annoying because they're always late to the party. It's like, oh, we're gonna release arcade games, and I go to their freaking Discord and like, oh, that's cool. You're making arcade games, so dip switches, okay? You make dip switches, and then it's good. Because without access to the dip switches, fuck this. And they are like, oh no, we're not gonna have access to the dip switches. So it's like, well, I'm not buying it then. I'm not gonna buy your VS fucking console with your arcade cartridges if I can't change the dip switches. How does that work? You have to have that kind of stuff, and so we don't buy it. And then a year later it's like, oh yeah, I mean, we're implementing dip switches. Oh no shit, Sherlock. It's like, why does it take them a year to do the obvious? It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have button mapping by system. It's like, of course you're gonna have fucking button mapping by system and not just one general button mapping that you do and then everything has to follow that. How does that even make any sense? Like, don't you guys play your own system? Don't you realize that this stuff doesn't work that way? You can't have it like this, man. I mean, what the fuck? And that was what impressed me about it. You see, like, it's Capcom and it's on Steam and okay, but it's pretty decent what they did with the arcade, whatever fucking compilation on the arcade, Capcom arcade stadium, Capcom arcade stadium thing, right? They did a pretty good job with that for the price of 75% off. I mean, I'm positively impressed. My Mister is still better. The screen filters work better. The lag is probably lower. I don't know. I can't really tell much of a difference. I talk too much, dude. Okay, or do that, girl. But you know what? It's just I'm just I hope you guys understand. I'm not trying to say that your point of view is wrong and mine is right. I'm just sharing how I see it because this is how I feel about it. That's how I feel about modern versus old. Like I think yes, modern is better than old, right? If you could ask me like, Leo, what would you rather have for playing the games? For playing the games. I'm not talking about, of course, if you ask me, what you want? Like have your PC there with your Steam library, or would you rather me give you a Neo Geo AES with all the games that were ever released for the AES, right? Well, I'll take the AES and sell it and buy 50 gaming fucking PCs and all the games on Steam with that fucking money because I buy a house with the cost of all the single, you know. But if you ask me like, Leo, what would you rather have? A Neo Geo AES and all the games as access, to play, or your Steam library? My God, like miles. I'd rather have the Steam library. Like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? It's way better, and it's cheap and it's amazing. It's amazing, right? And it's just really a pity that you really have to learn how to navigate it. Because if you just go, and just buy whatever, I agree with the people who say that. It's like the Neo Geo is one of the most consistent and safe platforms to buy a game for, right? Like, how many games are you gonna buy for the AES and you're gonna take them home and they're gonna be crap? I don't know. From what I played, I don't remember ever having played a game that was officially released for the Neo Geo that I played it and I thought, wow, this is garbage. I didn't like Top Down. Overtop, it's Overtop the name, right? I didn't like that game. I played it for one credit and but still, like, it's not that bad. I didn't like the scrolling, I didn't like the game generally speaking, but I'm not gonna say that that game is trash, that game is off. I'm not gonna say that because I don't think it is. Now, grab a Master System or grab a Nintendo Entertainment System, right? Go into a ROMs list and just play some random fucking game. Most likely, if you're just close your eyes and select one, randomly, chances are much more than 50% it's gonna be a bad game and not a good one. How many games are actually that good in those libraries? 20% are good, and 40-30% are decent, and a lot of them are like not very good to bad to awful to completely unplayable nonsensical junk, for whichever reason. So you get what I mean? Like old platforms, you also kind of have to learn how to navigate. The AES, less so. If you look at an AES game, if you take a look at the back of the box with a couple of those screen grabs of how the game looks, you look at that, you get an idea of what the game's like, you buy the game, you're probably going to be satisfied. You're probably going to be, oh yeah, this is a cool game. You look at back and you go like, wow, this is a golf game. I'm not going to buy a golf game. Oh, this is a shooter. I'm going to buy this. You're going to go home and you're going to play the game. I was trashing Polestar, but I don't think I said that. I don't want to play that game too much because, I might still go back to it. It's not a bad game. I just prefer other stuff, right? That's what it is. But really, yeah. I mean, you really have to just be careful, and if you know how to navigate it, modern gaming is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And as I said, if you're willing to spend all the money on an ultimate edition of the Neo Geo, man, you would do a lot with PC gaming. You would do a lot, but I bet you don't need to. I bet you have all these good games already, so you can enjoy them. And so that's why I have a hard time complaining about modern gaming when I have so much fun playing it. And sometimes I'm frustrated. True. I kind of, I bought Street Fighter 5 and I was burned. Okay, but generally speaking, I have a lot of fun, and so I don't think it's a bad thing. Tell me what you think, and I'll see you guys around. Goodbye.